This is the video review of the new Deluxe Darth Vader made by Sideshow. And we're actually looking at the back of the box. This isn't the actual figure, but there's a picture of him. I'm starting with the box because it's so big it doesn't really fit in my display. So here's the side. And yeah, this was the back. So it has a nice backing and everything. Really good picture of the figure. Really gives you an idea if you look at that. Like, that's my arm next to it. It's huge. It's almost 2 feet long. Huge box. Very wide also. So it's really big. The front of it has kind of this imprinted Darth Vader, if you can kind of see that. Really cool. Really shows what kind of character it is. Shows how powerful he is and everything. It's really great. So I know we're not all excited about the box, but it is a shoebox style box. You can see how it opens, slides through there. And it's just a clamshell. Here's the, let me grab them. The difference, these are the clamshells, just basic stuff. And that's the one that holds the base. So without further ado, let's get to the figure. Get past all this boring stuff. So, one more sweep. Yep, and that's your box. So, let's see this awesome new Sideshow figure. Alright, so we're back, and here's the actual figure. And as you can tell, he's amazing. He is just incredible. It looks like you're looking at a still from the movie. And really just to start off the review, I want you to know this figure is incredible. I'm really happy with him. So let's get to looking at him. So the actual figure stands at, I think it's 13.75 inches, so almost 14 inches. So he's much taller than most of your other figures. Let me move his base out of the way so you can see exactly how tall he is. So there he is right there. Starting from the head, we start with, this is how you see him in the packaging, is with this head sculpt and not the alternate one, which I'll get to later. This one is absolutely perfect. The Return of the Jedi one, that being this one, compared to the New Hope one, this one's, it doesn't flare out, it flares out more, pardon. And it really does look more like the actual thing from the movie, and it's really spot on. You try to take a look at that detailing and everything. I'm sure you can't see it that well. Looks better from a distance, I think. So, honestly, its head sculpt, it's perfection. Something worth noting that I haven't heard anybody else note, so I feel like I should be the first one to say it, is his head comes off nicely, which is great. Okay, so the head is like this. Absolutely, just like this. But what's inside of it is the alternate head sculpt of Anakin Skywalker. Now, what's a big deal about this is they've actually gone the extra mile and put these pieces together to make this. So inside you can kind of see like a white line. That is actually this head sculpt's neck. Look at that. And if you look further in, you can actually see that scrape inside of the helmet. So really they went the extra mile here, in my opinion, because they did not have to make this. This could have been hollow. I expected it to be hollow, or just with a weight inside of it. So the fact that there's a full head sculpt in there is really impressive to me. So I'm going to pop the head back on, and you'll see it's just a ball joint. It's a little uncomfortable. There we go. It takes about 2 hands. It's easy, but it's firm once it's on there. So moving down, we go to his cape, and his cape really sells the figure because it is tailored. I've seen this in other things where it's sewn on to create weight. You can kind of see that seam. And that makes it so it flows more naturally, just like it hangs on him in the movie, which is perfect. So after that, we have his shoulder armor, and that goes into this. It's kind of these weak little pads, and these don't really do anything. They're just kind of hanging there, but they don't restrict movement, so that's great. To his arms, I've heard a couple complaints that his arms are a little skinny. Actually, I really don't see it in person. In video, it might look it, but it really isn't that bad. It might be because the gloves kind of flare out. Articulation is fairly basic. All of this movement is very nice. Here's just basic bend and twist. Really nothing too exciting that you haven't seen before in any other Sideshow figures. Now, what's What's cool is how many hands he comes with. Here I've got him holding his lightsaber, but I'm going to set him down again, and we'll go through his hands. We have the lightsaber holding hand, which is the exact same as this one. This is just for the right side. 2 fists. All of them are in a pliable rubber. Really, look at this. And then they all have a peg on the inside, if you can see the peg. Unlike Hot Toys, which is awesome. Some relaxed hands, not really going to use these, but they are really good stitching detail on all the gloves, like I said before. Here's his using the Force hand. Really like that one because it could also be like reaching out like this. This is a really good hand. Really captures like emotion in it. It's really awesome. Then we have kind of a weaker using the Force, I guess. He's using the Force, but just kind of, this one I wouldn't really use as much, but it still looks good. And then the pointing one for the scene from A New Hope, where he's talking to Princess Leia. That's pretty cool. And then everyone's favorite I've got on the figure, and that would be the Force Choke. And the Force Choke hand looks great. Absolutely awesome. So, that's awesome. We move further down, and something worth noting is the whole body is covered in this faux leather suit, and it's really a nice material because it doesn't feel like it's going to tear or anything, and it really doesn't restrict movement. Like, look at this. He can still turn his arm, and that's in leather, so that's impressive. But anyway, moving down, he's got his cloak, or I guess it's like a robe underneath everything. And this is the same material. It's tailored just like this. Really just works, puts everything together. And it's underneath the shoulder armor, unlike the previous figure. So, that's pretty cool. Here we have his chest peripheral and his belt with matching peripherals. The cool thing about this is unlike most other belts, this has a light up feature. If you can see that, I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see it pretty well. And then the chest is flashing with the middle kind of staying lit. This is awesome. This really makes the figure move more towards the price range that they're selling him at. Because without it, I don't know if I'd be as well. I'd still have bought him, I'm not going to lie, but I'd be less willing. Also on the belt is made out of, I guess, kind of a leatherish too. I'm not really digging the leather on there. It seems like it could be easily damaged, so I'd take it easy on that. There's also a metal clip here, and that's for hanging his lightsaber. Let's see his hilt. The hilt has these 2 little metal loops. You simply line it up, if you can line it up. Come on. There we go. And it hangs there very nicely, very natural. Something to think about, though, is any movement like that, you can drop it. So when moving the figure, make sure you're keeping track of the lightsaber. I have lost it before. So I'm going to keep this lit because I think that looks awesome. I'm going to move down, and this is like the main thing I've seen people complaining about, is this bunch up in the groin. And really, this isn't a big deal. This really isn't a big deal. Because it covers itself so easily with this robe. And it looks like he's in a moving phase. I don't think it's a big deal. It's just a little bit of bunch up from the boots. Not a big deal. Moving down, we have the shin-high boots. And this is all glossy, like the helmet. So it's shiny and reflective. You can see yourself in it. And then the boots. These are just rubber. They pop off easily if you need to take them off. And they're huge. Look how big his feet are. Most of my finger. Really awesome. So that's the actual figure. Now, on to some of his accessories. I'm going to actually... Here's his display. And his display base is awesome. Because it, too, uses the same light up features. And if you weren't all that impressed with Darth Vader's light up, maybe you'll be a little more impressed with this one. Try to get... There we go. Really no, let me try to fix this cape and everything. There's no dark spots or anything. It's really spot on. Only complaint I could give you for this is the fact that it's really tall. It's about 1 inch tall. And if you hadn't noticed, this figure towers over all the other ones. So it's just adding another inch, which makes him look out of scale. Which to me is kind of a problem. Because as cool as the space is, I'm a little less willing to use it because it really doesn't... It really adds too much to his height. And you'll see that here in a minute when I do a size comparison. The other accessory comes with, this too, lights up. This is it's to recreate kind of his meditation chamber. And let me show you how that works. You take this mask, which has full realism and everything on the inside. You can see what Darth Vader's seeing and has to live with. That just slides on here. Then the helmet on top. Then you light it. And you get kind of a cascading red effect. Not really that strong of a light, but it's cool. It's alright, you know. It's nothing really exciting. It takes up a lot of shelf space, but it's cool enough. If you're wondering if you can put these pieces together to create that scene where he's got his mask getting taken off, yes you can. But I strongly advise against it. Even Sideshow's website says not to do it. Because if you look closely on the head sculpt, you can see that it's been scratched. And let me get you another good look at the head sculpt. The mechanical nature of the inside, around the neck, injury, his head. Really looks good. Slide that. I'll show you how it would go on there. You slide that. It would slide on like this. And then this would go on top. But what's the point of creating that? Because you already have an awesome head sculpt. And that's the exact same thing as what that is. So, that's it. His final accessories would be his lightsabers. His lightsaber is really the only complaint I have. The hilt, as you can see, looks excellent. Has this metal peg in it, which is cool because that's like the original props. And it has the 2 metal hooks on it, which is, again, accurate. So this is really a nice hilt. I like this. I like this better than Obi-Wan's that I have. I have a Sideshow Obi-Wan, and I really do like this better. Now, something worth pointing out is on the lit one, it really loses any cool effect that this translucent red has because of the light up base. If you're going to have something light up, why would you make this instead of this? We've seen it on the new Padawan Obi-Wan, and really, I hate to just complain about something that's not 100% necessary, but when you have this in the dark, and this is lit, his chest is all lit up, and then this is lit, and then this isn't, it points out that this is a toy, and it makes it so I end up having to use the hilt instead, like he hasn't lit it yet. And to me, that makes this accessory less worthy. If you're gonna go for the light up effect, go the full 100. That's what I'm saying. Full 100%. Now for a quick size comparison. I don't want to rabble on too much longer. This is Sideshow's Obi-Wan that was done in 2006, and he's from the Revenge of the Sith. So, this is him standing next to Darth Vader, and if you can see that pretty good, he's a solid, you can't see it that good, solid inch. I'm going to put your arm down. Look, Darth Vader really is a solid inch taller than him. God, I really can't get that to display very well. So look at that. Now, on the display, look how much taller he is. It's really like 3 inches, so I really don't like that. It makes it look so much worse. But back to the figure, for the score I would give it, really a 9 out of 10. The only flaw I have is the fact, the lightsaber, it's not really a flaw. I just feel like if you're going to go the extra mile like they were already doing, why not just give us something we all would really like? So I think that's a little weird, because this is his primary accessory. This is what Darth Vader was remembered for, at least at the beginning, was the fact that he had a red lightsaber. So I think that's a little weak. But the rest of the figure, his hands are all spot on. The figure looks fantastic. Everything looks good, feels good. He's great. He's really great quality. Little things that really bother me. Just, like, why would they include this mask to put together and then have it on this and then not let it come together like it's not supposed to? Like, I'm sorry, but everybody's going to put this together and scrape paint off the cheek because you just want to see if it works. And that's stupid to me. But, so that's it. 9 out of 10. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned. I'm going to have some new figures sooner or later.